Hi, my name is Chelsea, and I am currently a senior music industry studies major from Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you all so much for joining us today for our first Facebook Live event of the semester. We are going to be discussing creative majors here on our campus, including design, music industry studies, filmmaking, and writing, just to name a few. Today I have a couple of students and an amazing professor here with us, so if you all would just like to introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Sean Weiser. I am a music industry studies major, and I'm a junior from Houston, Texas.
My name's Carolina. I'm a senior, and I'm majoring in popular and commercial music, and I'm from Miami, Florida.
I'm John Snyder, and I'm chair of the Film and Music Industry Studies Department here at Loyola.
Perfect. So today we are going to be answering a couple of questions about what it means to live and study here on Loyola's campus. So if you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments, and we will try to answer them live. So let's get started. What is the average class size here on our campus?
It ranges anywhere from 40 to 50 for some of our bigger classes, or even 10 to 20 for our smaller classes. It just depends on the popularity of the class. But either way, you're getting a very intimate relationship with the professor, and you're getting a good
Education. It's true.
Spot on. Cool. All right, so what has been your favorite project to work on?
I really enjoyed the Intro to Music Industry Studies project because I was actually able to experience it on both sides of things. As an artist, having a team of students like develop what I do, and then on the other side of things, I was also able to learn the manager aspect of things, where we found a student on campus that needed a team, and we essentially pretty much create marketing and music videos and all kinds of things like that. So that was a great project to be a part of.
You have 4 deliverables, right? You have to do a song or an EP, you have to do a music video, a website, and a live concert.
Right.
And you've got to write the production plan, the management plan, the legal plan, financial plan, marketing plan for each one of those things.
Yeah, it's definitely...
So it's kind of a weird project for beginning students.
It is. It is. It's very...
It's super helpful.
Exactly. It's very intricate, but you learn a lot.
It's a good way to get your hands wet.
Absolutely.
I think another great project is in arts and entertainment management, with writing like the management plan for an artist. But how I did it, I wrote it for my life, what I wanted to do in my life, and that was so great because it's a hands-on experience that is relevant to the real world. So everything that we're doing in our class is relevant to the real world. It's not just like a fake thing. It's something that you can use in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that we try to apply the theory of the classroom to practice right away, right? So it's not about you study in the classroom for 2 years and then you go do something. No, let's do something today that you're doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very true. To adding on to that, so are projects that you all have done in your class individual or collaborative?
It's a mix. Like the industry project, like she said, was you're in a group with 4 other people on average, and you have an artist, so you have to figure out teamwork and how you're going to make it happen. But then in the management class and project that you mentioned, it's by yourself. I believe you do your own management plan for whether it's an artist you're working on, if it's yourself as an artist, or so you have all aspects of it.
Right. Yeah, no, there's definitely a good combination. Yeah, individually, I mean, for example, a songwriting class, sometimes we'll have a project where we have to write a song, by ourselves based off something, and then others, you have to learn how to work with a team of songwriters. So somebody's doing the music, somebody's doing the lyrics, the melody. So you definitely get all different kinds of attention.
Good mix.
Yeah.
Definitely. So how are students graded on our campus? I guess more specifically, how have we been graded in our classes?
Everybody gets A's.
Yeah. Straight A.
There you go.
Isn't that the way it works?
Yeah, definitely.
So every professor grades differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you find it, Sean? What's the deal? I mean, do you find that the grading is based on quizzes or tests or projects or what?
I mean, it's a mix of everything. There are still quizzes and tests in certain classes, but then other classes will be graded on our projects, like an intro to music tech. You are graded on your mixes. We have to do projects where we have to create songs with MIDI sounds and live sounds, and it's just super interesting to get graded on that. You get the rubric beforehand, so you know what's going on. You're not surprised. But it's really interesting to be graded on your ability to blend drums together instead of regular questions.
No, definitely.
And it helps.
Yeah.
You come out knowing how to do this
Theoretically, the
stuff.
syllabus is supposed to tell you how the course is graded.
Right.
And then you know going in. So, and you're keeping in touch constantly with how you're doing. So you can always know where you are, where you stand.
Absolutely.
Theoretically.
Our professors here are also really good about giving feedback. So on the project, if you've like kind of lagged in an area, they definitely like let you know where you messed up or where you could have done better, and also where you did great. So that helps a lot.
For sure, definitely.
I think that the way we look at it as a faculty is students first. And so we're here for you, you're not here for us. And so the idea is to help you get to where you want to go. So I know that Carolina wants to be a performer, I know you want to be an artist manager, and I know you want to go to law school. I've done all those things, and I recommend them. But I think that's the point, is you find something you want to do, you get good at it, and you use it to help other people and make a career out of it. So that's what the goal is. You found that that's working?
Yes.
Most definitely.
Alright. So we've discussed this a little bit, but can we just all talk a little bit more about different projects that we've done in our classes here?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I don't know if this would technically be considered a project, but I mean, it technically is. I mean, so in music ensemble classes, one of the final projects essentially that we do is we put on a big show at the House of Blues at the end of the semester. So that was actually an amazing time, just to be at a venue where, you know, you would go and watch like famous artists, you know, and to be able to perform on the same stage as that, you know, you really get the true experience, and it's not like you're playing to no one. I mean, you have a really supportive team at the school that will come and buy tickets, and I mean, the performance was completely packed. I mean, everybody, like, it was like a sea of people. So having a performance with an ensemble that you've been working on all semester with, and being able to perform at that venue is an amazing opportunity. So that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
What project have you done recently?
I try to stay involved with everything. Just the
You're on the forum
opportunities.
committee, I know.
I'm on the forum committee, which is great. It's a class every Monday night where we bring in professionals from the music industry to talk with our students, and we open to a Q&A at the end. So we can really just create opportunities for our students, and there's always a line of kids students after the forum to get, whether it's to get an email or just shake hands with the presenter, to just open doors and really present to the students like what the music industry is all about. And I love being a part of the committee and kind of making that happen, figuring out the logistics and booking. Forum committee is awesome.
It's experiential learning. It's learned by doing, and I think that maybe is a better way of doing it. So I think that's a big issue for us. And the idea is to monetize your passion for what you do too. You got to make a living at it. So you can't just, it's not enough to be a singer or performer. You have to be able to do other things too. You got to make websites to share your music. You can make music videos to promote your music, and you have to have a blog to promote your music. So you're creating copyrights.
Yeah.
And the idea is to monetize those copyrights. So it's an entrepreneurship-based program, right?
Right.
Yep.
So you're going to have your own company at some point. You're going to be your own lawyer at some point, and you're going to be a performer employing people.
Absolutely.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Very exciting to think about.
Yeah.
So
When you get to law school.
I know, and I'm like, what did I do to myself? Let's do a fun question. So what do you all do for inspiration?
Take it away.
Well, as a songwriter, performer, I always have to be very in tune with myself, and I'm sure that can be said for anything that you're doing in life. But for inspiration, it's really just allowing yourself to be honest with yourself in the life that you live. So, you know, whether it's going to classes, you know, or really, honestly, anything that you go through is inspiration if you allow it to be. So that's what I find is really just finding ways to put that into words and put that into your songwriting and create something that everybody can relate to and connect with. So yeah, really, that's my best source of inspiration is life itself. Yeah.
I would say my inspiration is maybe just setting goals and achieving them. To me, there's just like no greater feeling, and creating something that people can like and follow, because my goal eventually is to be an artist manager, and that's one thing that you, in artist management, you deal with. You try to create a following and create something tangible that people can follow and be involved with. So like when you set goals in that and you meet them, I think that's just very inspiring, self-inspiring.
I definitely agree with that.
What inspires you, Joe?
Oh, I would
Can't
probably.
go that easy.
I know. I have to be with the setting goals part. But then also when there might be something where I have a little bit of self-doubt and I think, oh, I don't know if I really can do this, and then I just do it and I achieve it. That's like, that always feels really good to do that, kind of like getting out of my shell and forcing myself to success. It's definitely inspiring.
Well, you inspire me. So thank you very much.
Oh, vice versa, though.
Great. So what previous experiences do you think individuals should have in order to be successful in a creative program such as ours?
I'm not sure if you need any prior experience. I think you have to want it in the music industry. I mean, I think this applies anywhere, but especially in the music industry, I'm a firm believer in you can have whatever you want, but you have to work for it. You have to put in effort, a lot of effort, and you have to work like someone else is working harder than you all the time.
Yeah, definitely.
So I mean, we have countless opportunities. I remember my first year here, our first forum, someone from C3 Presents came and offered a voodoo internship. And it was just like, who knows the experiences you're going to get, who you're going to meet. You need to want it more than everyone else.
You know, I think that what my thing is I want you creating every day. Because I think creative activity makes your life happier. And I think that you're making stuff, you're creating stuff. You're trying to affect people's lives in a positive way with what you're doing. And we monetize that. We have to make a profit from it, but that's not the point. That's not why we do it. It's that emotional connection that the expression creates. It's a communication. And all of you are doing that. So I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah, and to bounce off what Sean said, I definitely think, like, you technically don't have to have prior experience, but I mean, it would help. It would definitely help you be further along in whatever your craft may be. But I think if you just take what you learn and actually apply it to your life and put it into action in that exact moment, like you said, work hard, work like somebody else is working way harder. And on top of that, just having an open mind and staying humble, because that's a huge thing. People can get caught up in being in music school or art school, and you can get caught up in so many different things. And so it's really important, I think, as a student, to constantly have an open mind and just stay humble and realize that you're always learning and that you can always give back to.
I think that's a beautiful thing to say. It's really the right attitude, because to cause other people to pay attention to you, you've got to be a decent person. You've got to be a kind and generous person. You got to care about them. You have to be empathetic and care about what the people want and what they think would cause them to care about you. So, and I like to think, and I hope it's true, that kindness is kind of the overriding value. We want people to be nice to each other, to help each other out. We're a community of people. We all are creators and consumers of art and music, and it's a beautiful thing if it can work. And so I think that you're really contributing to that, and I appreciate that.
Thank you. I think also to add to everything that everyone else has said, is that you have to learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Don't switch those up. But so many times we are uncomfortable in asking for help or uncomfortable in putting ourselves out there, but you really can't grow unless you do put yourself out there and ask people different questions. Going to your professors and saying, hey, I have this project, what do you think I should do more? Because if you don't, you're not going to grow and you'll be in the same places.
The question's the important thing. Answers are plentiful and cheap and everywhere. Everybody's got some, but the questions are personal to what you want to know, what you need to understand. So ask the right question, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
What's the next question?
Okay, let me make sure it's the right one. What's it like to live on campus?
It's awesome. You stay immersed in the scene, if you will. It's super easy to get to the studios or to band practice if you're practicing in the chapel, or there's just a lot of opportunities that if you live off campus you might not feel as motivated to come in. this is my first year living off campus, and I do, you know, come in. But like when you're living on campus, it's way easier just to see a friend walking down the hall, and you're just like, do you want to play or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Like
a
guitar.
small campus. Right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh, yeah.
I mean, you can
Yeah.
get from your dorm room to your classroom in, what, 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Really
Yes.
quick.
Definitely.
Yeah. It's nice being on campus because it's a community. Like, you know that everyone here really does have your best interests at heart. So just seeing people around campus, you feel comfortable and you feel like you can go and achieve whatever you need to achieve being here. Great. Any other things to add to that one? All right. Okay, so our last question is just what are other classes that you would have to take when you are in a creative major, such as ours?
Well, even though we're in a creative major, we also do have to take our Common Core general classes, and that might be a little difficult at times, just because, you know, obviously that's not what we exactly want to be doing all the time. But like I said, finding a way to apply that to what our goal is, I think that's the most important part. So whatever class you're taking, you're going to be getting good instruction. But yeah, in the music industry or popular and commercial side of things, you know, you're taking a lot of songwriting courses, production courses, but as well as the creative side, you're also learning a lot of the business, which is so beneficial. You know, I can't stress that enough, because the music industry, you know, is not what everybody thinks it is. That when they're outside of the industry, like, a lot of people don't know what goes on behind the great song or the really cool visual, you know. So I think, yeah, that's
You know,
pretty
it's
much
that gap
That's-
between the performer and the performance. What happens in between that, which is everything. And the way I look at the liberal arts classes that you were so kind to speak about, is that, you know, it's your imagination, it's the strength of your imagination that allows you to get the attention of an audience and hold their attention. So you need to feed that. And you've got to constantly put stuff in there. You can't just make up the world. So if we could look at the liberal arts courses as providing that function, and what we're trying to do is convert a lot of those to as courses that might be appealing to the creative student, like a psychology course in the creative mind, or a philosophy course in ethics and the arts, or a science course in the physics of sound, or a writing course in writing about the arts.
Right.
So that the discipline of the liberal art is, and music is a liberal art, but the other disciplines are applied to your own creative expression. So I think we're working on that.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually taken some really cool, like, Common Core classes. I'm taking right now Sociology of Gender. So I'm like, wow, this is really cool. And it's my sociology course that takes care of my Common Core for that area. So they're not just like a history class. They're always, you know, really involved, and they are for people who don't want to just kind of sit there and be lectured. They kind of go into, like, specific areas that you might be interested in to help fill in those.
We have a history of jazz, history of urban music, history of popular music, history of, what else? World music. So the idea is to take that discipline of history and apply it to that art form. So there's some choices, and so the degree itself is 120 credit hours, right? So a credit hour is there's a 3 credit hour course meets 3 hours a week. So you're taking essentially 15 credit hours a semester, and you can take more if you want, and it's no extra cost or anything. You can take up to 160 hours if you wanted, but most students really don't do that.
Yeah, I'm taking 22 credits right now.
Good
so.
grief. Well, the average is 15.
You know.
So to take 22, you got to put in some extra
It's my
time.
lucky number right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great. That's all the questions that I have for y'all today, so thank you for answering them. And thank you all for joining us on our Facebook Live event. And if you want further information, just go to loyola.edu.com. Or .edu, sorry, no .com.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.